If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
I just finished reading a full 40 pages on One Cop, One Precinct's website. Allow me to condense all that information into a few short sentences. The stated goals of One Cop, One Precinct talks about how they're going to prevent crime through civic engagement and cooperation between law enforcement and clergy. Basically the preachers and imams and Buddhist monks all together to bring about civic engagement and bring about healing and basically bringing people together in a positive way. That's complete and utter bullshit. If you actually read between the lines, what it will do is turn the parishioners of these various houses of worship into nothing more than intelligence gathering organizations for the police state. Okay, Motorola Solutions and tech companies are basically giving them a cell phone app that gives them exclusive access to law enforcement. I have issues with this specifically because there's supposed to be a separation of church and state. That's something that's been upheld in the courts. I don't see how basically turning an entire congregation of churchgoers into snitches for the police state is going to help anything. Also, they talk about the responsibilities of member churches, and they actually talk about adopting a law enforcement officer into their congregation and, quote-unquote, have sermons devoted towards police appreciation on Law Enforcement Day. So not only are they giving these guys these exclusive snitch apps that have things like geotagging, and it's creepy. It's like something out of George Orwell's 1984 when the Ministry of Truth wants to take over a church. I mean, it's just creepy stuff, but I will go through some of this stuff with you guys right now. But yeah, not only are they going to turn the preachers and their prospective flocks into snitches and intelligence gathering organizations for the police state, but they're also going to devote some of their time on the pulpit preaching to their folks to pro-police propaganda. It's just sickening. But let's get into some of this stuff. First, let's talk about what I was mentioning before about the separation of church and state. If you drop on over to the website thought.co.com, separation of church and state, if you just search thread that, I'll link it below the video. Applying the Constitution to religious liberty. Similarly, courts have found that the principle of religious liberty exists within the First Amendment, even if those words are not actually there. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The point of such an amendment is twofold. First, it ensures that religious beliefs, private or organized, are removed from the attempt of government control. This is the reason why government cannot tell either you or your church what to believe or what to teach. Second, it ensures that the government does not get involved with enforcing, mandating, or promoting particular religious doctrine or including beliefs in any god. This is what happens when the government establishes, in quotes, a church. Doing so created problems in Europe, and because of this, the authors of the Constitution wanted to try and prevent the same thing from happening here, in this country. Can you deny that the First Amendment guarantees the principle of religious liberty, even though those words do not appear there? Similarly, the First Amendment guarantees the principle of separation in church and state by implication. The separation in church of state is what allows religious liberty to exist. And I would argue that this collusion between these church organizations and government, because that's what the policing culture is. Police is the force application of government. The parishioners of these churches that are part of one congregation, or one cop, one One Congregation are going to be involved with data collection through these apps that geotag, and they're supposed to be able to report crimes and get data from the police, and they're also going to be, you know, proselytizing on how great cops are on Law Enforcement Day, and they're supposed to adopt a cop into their church, and they're supposed to report back how well this is implementing the idea that, you know, police are such great people and how awesome policing is, and bring church and community and police together. And it actually talks about marrying. They use the term marrying the law enforcement officers into their congregation. So this is just mixing up all these things that are not part of how we are supposed to be in this legal system in the United States, interfacing between government and the religious institutions. And I just find it disturbing the way that this is all going to unfold, and, you know, the way they're going to be reporting back to the police unions about how well this is being implemented and how well their flocks are taking in all this information, and what they're basically gauging police sentiment within their congregations. And I find it really, really disturbing because of the fact that these police unions are the lovely kind of people like the Fraternal Order of Police that perpetuated something called the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights out of California. The Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights is a separate Bill of Rights that only applies to cops, that was first perpetuated by one of these police unions. Actually, the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, is the most powerful police union in the country. This makes what was reported, you know, almost 10 years ago about the establishment of something called clergy response teams, where it was outed that Homeland Security were basically tapping ministers to calm people down in times of civil unrest. This is that on steroids. The use of social media, one cop, one congregation, one precinct. An app, which will be a unique, valuable, and pioneering technology tool, will be developed to create a communications platform for use across the One Cop initiative. Proposed is the development of a software and online mobile application that will be linked with GIS, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the police agency's website that provides streams of information and dialogue around One Cop and its mission. The mobile app will be used to put notification of upcoming events or after event highlights, pictures, and videos, allow the police to post alerts, crime statistics, and hotspot maps. Congregation members can also notify police and other One Cop constituents of suspicious activity in their area and express their public safety concerns. Photos, videos, tweets, positive police community activity can be posted to the One Cop app website. This application will also serve as an ideal tool for police and One Cop staff to monitor and to gauge the community's perception and sentiment around these community policing efforts. Concerns can be addressed proactively by the One Cop leadership team in order to de-escalate tensions rising in a particular community or neighborhood. I'm sorry I stammer when I read this, but there's so many red flags here. So basically this is going to be, the GIS technology they're talking about is overlapping Google Street Maps and geopositioning systems. And it's going to be tied into Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's going to be specifically just for these churches. You see, I have objections to these churches being allowed to collude with Portland Police Bureau in my hometown, because the reason why I started getting angry and ranting about this is because they started a chapter of this right here. See, the Oregon Constitution clearly states that no group or affiliation or profession or any group of people basically can't have a special right or privilege that isn't afforded to everyone else. So unless these sinister ministers and these police unions and these tech companies, Motorola Solutions and the other one I can't remember the name of, unless they're willing to give this app to everyone, this is patented prima facie evidence they're conspiring to just take a massive crap on the Oregon Constitution. And they're planning on implementing this scary, scary stuff nationwide. It talks about that in the PDF document that I abstracted this social media and scary Orwellian nightmare app from. So this is the first section, you know, where we talk about the app and we talk about how they're going to marry all this technology together to basically turn churches into part of the police state apparatus of tyranny. Thanks a lot for watching, people, and this is the first part of this video, but there's much more. Now's the part in the video where I ask you to dig deep and smash that Patreon link beneath this video. Check out that bio I've written for myself explaining what I've been doing for the past 8 years cop watching. Yeah, dig deep and help me smash the police state.